Hi, I'm Liz Reeson. I'm a registered dietitian and I work with women to help balance hormones, improve their energy, and overall just feel confident and comfortable with their body and also with food. So, my passion for working with women, hormones, all of it really has stemmed from my own experience, my own history, and working through things, what I've learned, and how I've gotten to a place that I feel confident, balanced, and comfortable. Because even though I'm a dietitian, you probably look at me and think, like, wow, she's always had it together and she probably has a perfect metabolism and all of this stuff. And I can tell you that is absolutely not true. So, I'm not going to talk long about myself, but I will share a little bit about my experience, what I've gone through, and so that you have the understanding of why I work with women and where my method that I call the foundations of hormone balance has come from. So, I mean, honestly, my issues start way back when I was like 5 years old, I believe, was when I actually was brought to the doctor by my mom and I had high androgens. So, that's a type of hormone in the body. And that 5 years old, I was already out of balance in my hormones. And so things really have just escalated. But I also, around that same time, was on antibiotics for 2 years straight. And you probably maybe are aware of what antibiotics can do to the gut and can do to your microbiome, so our bacterial balance. So being on antibiotics for 2 years straight is not ideal. Unfortunately, it was what was had to be done. I had chronic kidney infections, and so in order to prevent anything severe, I had to be on the antibiotics. So totally understand why it happened, but it was at such a young age, and it really has just spiraled into, my young adulthood and why I was still struggling with stuff. So fast forwarding, symptom wise, definitely GI symptoms, weight, acne at a young age. So therefore started birth control very young, probably 12, 13 when I started birth control for acne. And obviously then hormones get out of whack as well because you're not naturally producing that fluctuation in your progesterone estrogen. So things kind of continued. I stayed on birth control through high school, college. When college came around, as with most of probably your experiences, college brings less sleep, more stress, um, poor diet. Even though I was in dietetics and in the program, I did my best, but obviously I had a very limited budget. And so that dictates, what types of foods you're going to be eating. So all of that really pile on each other to make things worse. And, went into internship, I had masters, and then I got married and things were just not good. Even though on the outside I appeared healthy. Anybody would have said that. On the inside, I was not healthy. I was not feeling good. I knew I had GI issues. I knew I had hormone issues. My PMS was bad. My periods were bad. I had migraines. I had acne still that I was dealing with. And I knew that my weight was not indicative of what I was eating. And so that brings around an issue that a lot of the women I work with, almost everybody, has, and that's emotional issues, poor relationship with your body and with food, because you start to not trust what you're doing. You're trying to eat healthy, but yet you see the excess weight on your body. You see the weight gain and you don't understand where that's coming from. And so that is a big passion of mine, although I don't work with eating disorders. I do incorporate healthy, positive, emotional eating methods. And also, along with that comes stress and emotional methods as well, because it is something that I know how deeply connected that is with our health, our physical health, our nutrition, and everything in between, the inflammation, the gut health, the stress, the hormones. It is also interconnected with our mind and our body. So that is a part of my hormone balance method. I kind of like group that into my topic of stress. So I kind of wanted to have 3 areas that we're working on to kind of simplify it a little bit, but also know that when you're in that area, we're dissecting things, we're going deeper. And what I love most about the Foundations of Hormone Balance method is that it really opens up the communication between us, because you're probably at a place where you've done some research, you've tried different things, you're smart, but you just maybe have these questions is this okay? I read this the other day. Is this true? Or what are they talking about? So having a professional, an expert that you can ask these questions to, and you can hear the explanation, and you can slowly start to work through things and really gain that solid understanding, that gives you the confidence. It gives you that comfortability around food and your body, because it's not such shocking news when you're able to be like, all right, I hear what you're saying. When a friend maybe comes to you, this is just, what's on trend right now. A friend comes to you and says, oh my gosh, I started taking this supplement and it changed my life. Or, oh my gosh, I started the keto diet and things are amazing. I'm losing so much weight. I feel great. That comes to you and it's a friend, it's a relative, it's someone that you trust. Or maybe it's something you saw on TV, you read it in a magazine. And it's kind of like this big shock to you, like, what am I doing? Why aren't I doing that? Should I be doing that? And it can be really overwhelming. And so that's something I understand. And really why I want to connect with more women is because there's so much information out there and it starts to contrast each other and get confusing and overwhelming. And you just want to feel like that person that you might know who it just seems easy, right? You're like, they seem like they just have this balance. They're not on one diet and then they're on the next diet, or they're crazy working out and then they're not working out at all. So you might feel like you're in this like back and forth, black and white, all in, all out mentality and kind of cycle. And you just want to be in that middle ground. You just want to be that balance where someone can say, oh my gosh, I started the keto diet, I feel amazing. And you can say, honestly, right to their face, I am so happy for you. That's great. But you don't feel any pressure or any jealousy or anything like that because you're not doing that. You're not seeing that success. And I think that's what everybody is going for. That's what you truly want. Even if you're reaching out to me saying, hey, I have PCOS, or I have really bad PMS, really heavy, painful periods, or the weight is just not budging and I feel so tired on my stomach, I get this bloating and all of this stuff going on. Those symptoms are important and we want to address those because symptoms are our body's way of communicating with us. And so it's important that we identify symptoms, that we work to heal symptoms. But what you really want is just to feel comfortable, to feel confident, to feel balanced and knowledgeable in what you're doing, and not feeling like you have to jump from one thing to another, because that is so tiring in itself. So that's what the foundation methods is built for. Number one, it's built for busy women, busy moms. That's what I am. So I know how it feels when you're like, I want to start, I want to do something. I just don't know if I have the time. I don't know if I have the energy. I don't know if this can be successful for me because I just feel like I'm run dry already. This program is built for you. Okay. It's really built so that we can work together. You can learn the information and work on nutrient, work on balanced diet, work on gut health, work on inflammation at your own pace. However, we still have that constant communication. We're checking in weekly, sometimes twice a week, depending on if you want to, but definitely on a weekly basis. You're seeing my face, you're asking me questions, we're talking about new topics that you want to learn more about. So maybe new products, maybe meal ideas, snack ideas, because you're getting tired, you're getting bored, or you're not finding time, you're not finding things that fit in. So let's talk about that, because that's the other part that I feel like is lacking out there for some women. Is I get them and they're like, I've tried a lot of things, it's just not sustainable. Or I went to a dietitian and they told me to eat the anti-inflammatory diet. They gave me a handout and that was it. Like, that's not very helpful when you're actually trying to live your life, have all your responsibilities, you're busy, but you also want to try to make this work. What you need is quick meal ideas, products that you can buy that are easy for snacks, but that fit that balance that you need. They've got good fiber, they have enough protein, you're feeling full and satisfied throughout the day. You're not getting to dinner and you're starving, and then all of a sudden you're eating later in the night too because you're still hungry. That is such haywire for your body. So the program is not just let's heal symptoms and let's focus on all these different areas, but it's really the overall approach to your day-to-day life. How can we get you into a routine that works for you? And maybe, for example, there's some things too that may not be your preference. So, hey, I know how good salmon is for me and omega-3s. I don't like it. Or my family will not eat fish. So I'm not going to make this when I know nobody else will eat it. I totally understand that. You don't have to eat it. But then that's when we can find alternatives like, okay, for you, I would definitely recommend that we're taking a fish oil. This is how many milligrams of EPA and DHA I want you to be taking so that we're matching what you do need in your diet. So there's a lot of different ways that we can address the same issue. And I think that's, something that is important for every woman to understand is that I built this Foundations of Hormone Method program. It is designed for each and every woman, whether you have a diagnosed hormone issue, such as PCOS, or if you just have no general issues, but you want to understand your health, you want to understand your body and food better. It's designed for everybody because it gives you that guidance to slowly learn these areas, implement little changes to address stress, address hormones and cycles. What should you start to do the third week of your cycle and your period when PMS is starting to come on? So it's all of these little things, but our grand view, our biggest focus is your day-to-day life. How are we incorporating foods so that you have a balanced diet, you have all the nutrients you need, you're helping improve gut health, you're not hurting it. And on the other side with lifestyle, how are we incorporating ways to manage stress throughout the day? How are you creating a day as best as we can that you enjoy, that you look forward to? Because all of that, again, the mind and the body need to be connected. We need to be doing everything we can to support the body as a whole. And you should enjoy it. I think that's something too that for a lot of women, I'm like, you should be enjoying the process. It should be fun because you're trying new things and you're seeing results, you're seeing success. So that's what this program is built for. Small, mini steps, but you see the success. It is built so that you are successful along the way and you're seeing that. So what I would say is a lot of people ask, like, how long does this usually last? It's designed, you can work with me forever. I would love that. I love meeting all of my new clients and getting to know you. And it's really sad when people are like, oh, I loved working with you, but I feel like I'm good. Feel really confident, comfortable. I'm healed. I feel as the best I've ever felt in my life. And so, yeah, they're ready to graduate. It's sad, but ideally, or honestly, you could work with me as long as you want. What I would say is average is probably 6 months, depending on how much we're working through, what your goals are. If the goal is fertility, that obviously takes a little bit longer because we want to set the body up. Then we want to obviously give time to try. And then when you're pregnant, we might want to still work together to just make sure pregnancy and weight gain and all of that nutrient needs go how they're supposed to go. So that might take longer, but yeah, probably an average of 6 months. I always ask for you to at least commit to 3 months because that's enough time to then start working on the hormones. So 3 months is kind of enough time to work through the foundations when we're talking gut health, nutrient status, inflammation, stress management, and then to get to the hormones in 3 months. But ideally to work through hormones and really find that balance. Also, there's a lot of ups and downs. As you know, you've tried diets, you've tried things in the past. There's ups and downs, cycles of life. And so committing to a time when we can work through some of those cycles, you fell off track, that's okay. Let's get back on. You get through enough of those, and that's where that confidence really comes from too. So yeah, 6 months on average, but 3 months is what I ask you to at least commit to mentally. So who is this program for? Who is it not for? There's a lot of touch points. You see a lot of me, a lot of accountability. So this type of program is set up for success for everybody, but the type of people that I really want to be working with is you do have this drive to learn. You do want to learn. If someone comes to me and they're like, can you just tell me exactly what to eat? Give me a meal plan. I'll do it. That's what I want. That's not what I want. That's not who I want to work with because I'm like, that's not fun. Google it. You can find a meal plan online. You can find a meal plan that tells you recipes, tells you exactly what to eat, how much to eat of it every single day for free. So just Google that if that's what you want. I want someone who wants to learn. I want someone who has questions. I want someone who's trying to like revamp things and just keep that positive energy with learning and changing. I also want someone who has that self motivation. I don't expect you to be totally motivated throughout the thing. I'm here to help motivate, to help keep you on track, to help keep that accountability there. But I do find that there's a difference between the women in the past that I've worked with, the ones that are really successful, like feel great, amazing, successful, are the ones that really take it on themselves to, okay, Liz told me to do XYZ. She told me to pay attention to this. She told me to follow up, let her know how it went next week. And they do that. The ones that aren't as successful, oh gosh, I can't talk now. I've been talking too long. Sorry, I'm finishing up. The ones that aren't as successful, unfortunately, are ones that I give them maybe specific questions like, hey, I'm checking in. How is this? How is this? How is this? And I don't hear from them for a week. You just, if it's not the right time in your life for this type of commitment and motivation and changes, totally understand that. But I hope that you kind of take a little time to reflect, make sure that you're ready. Again, my program is set up for small little steps, realistic changes. I'm not asking for anything crazy, and we're working with your preferences in your life. So I understand taking things slow. You've got a lot going on. Let's give things a couple of weeks to start. But if I'm really wanting to know, you're wanting to know, like, hey, what is this bloating triggered from? I'm going to be checking in with you. I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to be saying, let's avoid corn for a week, or let's avoid soy for a week, because when we went through your food record, I noticed that you might be getting that from some different sources. So if I'm doing something like that with you, I kind of expect you to, okay, I'm going to avoid soy for a week, and I'm going to let Liz know how it's going. So that little bit of self-motivation where you really take it on yourself to do the things. It's a time in your life where, yeah, you're busy. You're always going to be busy. You're always going to have a lot of things going on, but you're willing to take that priority, and you're willing to make yourself a priority for this time that we work together. You are going to be absolutely successful. Absolutely. I have no doubt that this method and this program working with me, you are going to see results. You are going to learn so much about your food and your body that undoubtedly you're going to be successful. As long as you're willing, you're excited, you want to learn, and you have that little bit of self-motivation where if I'm asking you to do something in the week, you're going to do your best to have that happen. So I understand things coming up, nobody's perfect. Absolutely. I preach that on a daily basis to my clients. No one is perfect. If I am asking you to do something, I don't expect you to be perfect by any means, but just be honest, keep in touch with me. Let me know how things are going. And that's how you're going to be successful. So I'm always checking in. I'm always asking questions, very, very quick to respond to you and get back. So we're meeting on a weekly basis anyways. So showing up, meeting weekly, that's important. And I do give multiple options for that. So if you want to kind of talk more one-on-one, you can fill out the application form below and I'll get in touch with you. We'll jump on a phone call, talk through things in more detail, and give you more information on working together. So definitely please do that. Fill out the application form, super short. And then I'll get in touch with you and we'll talk through, answer any more questions that you have. So thanks so much for listening, and I hope to hear from you soon. All right, take care.